we're back, and we're in Iron Hook clothing, being rounded up by Marines. Good times. Maud's muttering under her breath. And she's back in the same attire we saw her in first season.
You don't have to worry about that collar anymore. You should be fine.
Still fidgets, shoves the bone under. Just the same.
Clearly, Charming is not happy at all. This is really regretting, the idea of like looking like a prisoner. I think, like we've talked a couple of times about going to Iron Hook and increasing our presence in Iron Hook, and that's definitely been the staying point for Charming. Like, I'm gonna have to dress like a prisoner to go in there. This is not going to work for me.
Yes. Yes. That is very true. Yeah, the Leviathan Hunter Marines fan out on the beach. You folks were all in the armed forces. It's a familiar pattern. They're clearly all veterans, and they've got snub-nosed rifles pointed at you for boarding actions in cramped quarters. And the officer puts his rifle over his shoulder and says, "All right, lads, we can do this one of a couple of ways. Get on the boat. We're going to take you to our boat, take you to our ship, and stow you away for a bit. You won't be gone but for a couple of weeks, and then you're back in the city, safe and sound. What do you say?"
I think we're trying to play this up as this is not what we were expecting. So yeah, so Maud looks around at like the rifles that are pointed at them, is like, doesn't seem like we have much of a choice. And I think she has like some like chest or something that she had like dug out of the ash and dirt, and she just sort of like sets it down. Like, I guess we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Charming's just staring him down.
Charming, would they recognize that you're a Marine? Like, do you have any tattoos showing, or?
Oh yeah, I was Duskavor Marine. I mean, I'm like 100% full fledged. I've got my battalion tattoo on me. Like I was really all in.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm just staring at the captain right now, not moving, just like.
Yeah, I think they like fan out and like start to move you guys towards the belly of the boat.
Yeah, Maud totally complies.
And I'm sorry. Go on.
Clay falls in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the officer looks at you and says, "Come on, Devil Dog, move on in."
My thought was that we're going in with at least the thug crew with us, so the thug cohort. Do we have to do this now, or do we figure this out later?
We should know this. We should know
what's
going on.
I think that makes sense.
Think
yeah.
Of all the people that we have, they would be happy about going in and freeing people who've been enslaved.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's also closer to the size of what like a Deathlands Hunter crew would look like, right? Like they don't send a few people to get picked off. They're gonna send more numbers, right?
Yeah.
So cool.
So what was the? Can you give me the kind of keywords for that cohort?
Yeah, it's the cage ones.
Yeah,
they are the thugs. They are savage. Savage and principled. For their flaws, their edges are independent and tenacious.
Cool.
They were captives of the hive. And we ended up freeing them from the haunted
Yeah.
warehouse.
No, I remember.
Warehouses now, too.
Yep. Yeah, I think one of the Marines like goes to kind of shove one of them, and they're trying to be kind of gentle about it. And one of them makes like a filthy gesture and says, "Put this in your mother." And then he makes another filthy gesture and he says, "And put this in your father." And the Marine just like takes the butt of his rifle and caves in the guy's nose.
I'm gonna sidle up when this happens and just look at the Marine. Look, mate, I could either die here with you, or we can all be okay with this and get on the ship. I guarantee you this. If you hurt another one of my men, I'm gonna die here with you. You understand me?
Just move on the ship.
No.
Or get on the boat, is what he says.
I'm going to have to make a command roll. I don't like what I'm going to say. You're going to give me an answer. You're going to make me understand that you understand me.
Yeah.
Really, I think you should make a command roll.
Yeah. Risk is, well, we know it's risky, right?
Yeah.
So,
right.
I think our position is limited, honestly.
And it's a limited effect.
Got it.
But I'm dying to see what happens.
It's okay. I roll really well. No
I mean, a 4 is a great result for getting what you want and making the game more interesting. Oh, hey,
What?
And what do you know?
And what do you know?
I can't let that happen to my men and let it go.
Risky, limited. Got it.
I should pull up the roll. Sorry about that, chat. There we go. Now you can see the.
You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm. A complication occurs. Cool. So he takes the butt of his rifle and he hits you in the face. For a risky thing, what is it? Like, how many harm would it be? 2 harm?
Yeah,
he hits you like in the face for 2 harm, but you don't budge.
Do I get to roll a resistance on that?
If you want to, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, you can.
It's a 4, so it takes 2 stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's either negated or reduced depending on the circumstance.
He hits you square in the face, and the total lack of you budging is what makes him comply. And he says, "All right, nobody needs to die on this beach."
Good. And I hold my hands out and for shackles as soon as he agrees.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
is that negated or is that reduced?
I think it's reduced.
Okay, so I take 1 harm.
Yep.
Face smashed. Face bumped.
Face bumped.
Broken nose.
Bruised jaw.
Bruised jaw. Bruised jaw sounds like level 1 harm.
Broken nose again. Parentheses again.
Again.
Thanks. The last time when it said it was crooked. Maybe this time we'll straighten out.
Why do you think I spend so much time getting my outfit right? Because my nose has been broken so many times.
Yeah, says the guy with the broken nose.
Oof. Yeah, and then you're in the belly of this little boat. It is a familiar space for you guys, oddly. And the gang is kind of restless. They're all kind of looking to you guys.
I think we're doing the the knowing looks, like like that's okay. This is fine. This is what we expected. Also, it occurs to me that Deathland scavengers don't go out into the Deathlands like willy-nilly. They're usually sent with some sort of protective gear to keep them from just dying on the choking
Right.
on the choking ash out there, and also that they usually have a whisper that is, you know, warding, trying to protect them from hungry ghosts.
Right.
So I think some of the way in which our smuggler's rigging is working right now is that we have a lot of sort of Deathlands apparatus on us that you wouldn't think to necessarily disarm somebody of because it's not conventionally useful, but that's what's sort of hiding the gear that we have hidden in here. Like go out or something like these bulky outfits that you that we can then stash our stuff in. And so.
Yeah. And you feel it as the Leviathan ship's crane connects to the boat, lifts it up out of the water, and then puts it into deep into the hold.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big ass boat.
Yeah. A friend of my father's is in the Navy, and he described to me that a ship has boats on it, which I thought was like a good way for me to remember it. So yeah, it's legit. It's a ship.
It's a ship. Right?
Yeah. So
thank you for setting that set straight once and for all.
Yes.
for the many arguments about people talking about whether it's a ship or it's a boat.
Or it's a ship or a boat. Yeah, you got to know. So now I know. I grew up a mile from the ocean my whole life. I had no idea how ships or boats work. It's all a mystery.
That was a toilet, it wasn't an ocean. It's an ocean now. It wasn't when we were kids.
Yeah, but still, it's a giant body of water that is uncaring and unseeing. So it's an ocean to me. Speaking of, so you are, you're in the hold. And when the boat opens up, and you are kind of in the first staging area of where they deal with their prisoners.
Cool. I think Maud tries to affect an affable, like, hey, you said we would do this for a couple weeks, months, and then we'd be set free, which is, you know, better than the average Deathland scavenger gig. So she presents a sort of mercenary approach. Not the first time in her life that she's just switched sides because that was the only option, and tries to find out, like, what do you want us to do? So as they're sort of like processing, she asks, she's like, I heard we have new posts. We what are we gonna tries to frame it as like a Leviathan hunt. Like what game are we off to hunt? And I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out what they expect us to do.
Yeah, there aren't any people other than you guys in this cargo hold. It's been refitted to hold people, and there is a speakerphone, like not a speakerphone, but like a speaker on the wall, and a man's voice comes over it and says, "Scavengers, you are guests on the Dunville rover, and you will be used to test some ectoplasmic scientific theories that we have." And like people start grumbling. That sounds worse than it is. You will be let go in 2 weeks, and you will be allowed to return to lives as you knew them on Duskfall, free of the Iron Hook prison, with cash in your pocket. Please refrain from harming yourselves or the boat that you are in. You will be here for about 2 hours. And food and water will be sent to you soon.
When do we get that cash?
I've missed you.
We cannot hear you, but usually this is when someone asks when they'll get the cash. You will get the cash when you are let free once all of our findings have been confirmed and our hypothesis either proven or unproven.
Does this person have the air of a academic scientist person, academic person of science, or do they have the air of a military commander? I think Maud knows the sound of both.
Yeah.
Of both. Like
I think it's more towards academic than military, but you're getting shades of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just sort of laying it out so I get the sense. There were Marines on our boat that like rounded us all up. So
yeah,
the boat gets picked up, it gets put in the ship, all the Marines depart, and then the doors open and we're let out and we're in this hold, and the hold is locked, it's sealed, like we can't get out of the hold sensibly.
And it smells, this is a hold made to hold Leviathan blood.
Yeah.
Like it is not healthy to be in here.
Nope. Not at all. That's why this Skolven is trying to revolt, is because all the Leviathan blood processing is done up in Lockport, right? Like that was a big point of contention, was that you're basically turning our homeland into this toxic wasteland by doing this factory work here instead of somewhere else. So
yeah.
Yuck.
Well, I think there's two ways out of this room. One in which I can deal with, it's no problem, but it might tip our hand a bit. The one that I think Clave might help us with a bit better. Can you take care of that door?
I give it a shot.
Now, we got to decide, are we going to stick around and see what's going on first before we decide to make our move, or do we do's it from here?
It's hard to tell if we're going to have opportunities. But if they expect us to be here for a few weeks, I doubt they're just going to strap us in chairs the moment they open this door. Maybe we try and get a bit chummy with the folks who deliver us food and see if we can find anything for them before we start breaking out. I think we should keep our guys a bit longer.
And bear in mind, he did say that everything, we were going to be okay and nothing bad was going to happen. So you're right.
And Maud sort of like, she's kind of absent-minded when she's talking to you. Like, she's obviously not really committed to that. If you decide to break out, she's definitely not gonna. She doesn't seem impassioned about this, and she's kind of distracted. And how is this room lit? Are there electric lights in the room? Is it
That's
dark?
a really great question. I think that's about the time you realize that the walls are subtly glowing.
Great.
With Leviathan blood phosphorescence.
Nice. Yeah, well, that's perfect, because she just kind of wanders off into like the darkness of this hole, into like the belly of this hold. She's kind of looking around, and once she's sort of clear of the doors, she's going to take that from under her garb. I'm gonna mark that I have my abalone shell spirit mask. Maud, where are you? Why can't I find my own damn character sheet? I'm gonna take out my spirit mask, and does it take a load? It does. That's one of my items. I pull out my spirit mask and put it on, and pull back and tie the ties behind my head, and then I know the presence of demons is very like unsettling, so I have like my demon bane charm out, like kind of at the ready, and then I slowly open up my eyes and try to attune to get a sense of like how recently this has actually been used as a Leviathan hunter. Because if they've been doing this for a while, maybe this ship has just been out here
Yeah.
doing these experiments. Like, when was last time they actually came into contact with a Leviathan?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to attune.
Sounds good. Risky standard.
Sounds good. Can I beg for risky great on account of my fine spirit mask? Does the quality of the mask help?
Yes, I'll say that. Yes, risky great is fine.
That's great because I still have harm from last season. Is it okay with you if I just spend some coin? My progress clock on recovering from that harm was 2 out of 4 ticks. Is it okay with you if I just retcon? I spend some coin in a downtime action to get rid of that harm because it's been a
That's
long
fine.
time. Okay.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Spend the coin. I'm gonna clear my clock, and I'm gonna remove my witch tainted that I got all the way back from Coleridge. Fun times. Okay. Attune. Risky. Great. Yep. Poor man's crit. 2 5s.
Got it.
Better than what I rolled to try to kill the demon. So
Yeah, right.
never seen so many ones in a roll. There's like a 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3.
It's a pretty simple question. So I'm just going to say, like, you aren't sure exactly when it's been used as Leviathan Hunter, but it's been pretty recent. They definitely haven't given up the Leviathan hunting business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then the door opens, and a guy in overalls, kind of grimy overalls, pushing a cart of food and water comes in, and Clave, you recognize him right away as Cricket.
Nice.
And he's like, "Come on, lads, get some food in you. Gather your strength for your inevitable fucking escape attempt."
Cricket,
Clave,
what are you doing?
I'm surviving is what I'm doing.
Is this your new gig?
He basically like pushes the cart into the people and like takes you aside and says, if you can call it that, I'm just trying not to get killed like always.
You staying here at your own will, or are they making you stay here?
Man, I've gone from one bad situation to another. I don't even know what that means anymore.
How long you been out here? What's going on? What's going to happen to us?
They're gonna ritualistically kill you on different altars and then put those altars into the ocean to try and draw demons or gods or demon gods. It's not really clear to me, up into the surface. You're kind of like ectoplasmic chum in the ocean.
How come you didn't end up that way? How come you? How do I get your job?
Because they figured out that I could push a cart better than anybody. This is the shit. These are the situations I put myself in all my life. That's how I survived. That's how I survived the Hook. That's how I survived out in the Deathlands 3 times.
That's true. You're the 3-time champ of the Deathlands.
I was almost 4 times until I got fucking taken over by these guys. Apparently, their old their old connect for bodies like dried up, so they have to go scavenging for scavengers.
So you got keys?
Oh no, I don't have keys. I don't have shit.
What you got in here?
What do you mean in where?
Well, we are in here. You can't.
How did I get in here? They buzz me through. They buzz me through.
Oh. All right.
I mean, 1 out of 3 times somebody grabs me and puts a shiv to my neck and demands to be let free. So this is like This is the best shift I've had in like a week.
As all of our guys are looking restless, like you bet we packed shivs, right? And
Back to shiv, a gun.
Can you help me out?
Yeah. What do you need? You want an extra bit of water?
I'm gonna want to get out of here. I'm not trying to be chum.
No, I know. Everybody wants to get out of here, but sorry, Clave. Sorry, man.
So it's like that. After
I mean,
and everything.
You're healthy and strong, so you'll be like one of the last guys to go. So just like keep it, if you've got a line on where they could pick it up more people, I could, if you've got to connect.
I might have a connect. You know somebody I can talk to?
I could talk to them, but I mean, they know that you guys would say anything to not be chum in the water. So you know what I'm saying?
All right, give me a second. Give me a second.
Sure.
So Clay goes over and talks to Charming and Maud and tell them about cricket and bring them up to speed because I don't actually have a connect.
Yeah.
Does he know what a magazine is? Where they're keeping their powder?
I can ask him that. I can find out.
When you like say like what they're doing, she says, "Well, it's clearly been working because the ship's been seen a Leviathan. I'm not sure if that's the demon that they're hoping to summon, but obviously the ship's been in use." She kind of like looks around at all the walls, like, I doubt they're going to accept anything other. If they've seen even a speck of success, I can't imagine nobles giving any shits about what we might, what kind of connect we might have for them if they've got a new method of acquiring people.
All right. I'll see if I can.
I don't think we're going to talk our way out of this. Is my point. And I sort of look at Charming like this is a charming solution. This is a charming kind of problem.
Look, I think it's really important you see what it is they're doing now. Get an eye on it before we blow this place to sky high. The blackjack can pick us up. I'm sure he's falling close enough that he's not going to get caught.
All right. I'll find out where they keep the magazines. Oh, I'll see if he knows.
What's the like the little push trolley that Clave is pushing?
Yeah.
Is it
it's the Victorian equivalent of the cart that they push on airplanes with airplane food. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a little bit bigger, a little bit.
Is it big enough that a small person could climb inside the little like the compartment itself if all the trays are taken out?
Yes.
Could someone be smuggled in this cart? just saying. As a group of smugglers.
That is possible.
Awesome.
So I have no idea if he knows that or not. So I think I need to make a roll.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What do I do? Roll on the Wobeggong crew sheet?
Yeah, I would just roll fortune and pick whatever trait you think is applicable and assign some dice from 0 to 6 based on like 0 if he has just no clue would have no idea at all, and 6 if he's the captain of the ship and should know.
Yeah, he's a survivor, so I'll give him 3.
Cool. If it has wheels, hold the person else against the vehicle, right? Yeah, I like the way you're thinking, go on.
Bum, bum, bum. I'm just curious where magazines generally are.
Well, and I mean, Leviathan hunters are not strictly speaking military vessels, right? Like
Yeah.
they're designed for hunting Leviathans. It doesn't mean that they wouldn't have um, weapons, but there is a giant warship in Duskfall that's
Right.
meant for military action.
Right.
The
Right.
Paragon. But then again, if nobles are sniping each other, it may well be that it's not supposed to be an armed ship, but it is anyway because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they necessarily have cannon, but they do have powder because I think the harpoons they fire are powder propelled. So yeah, he tells you, he's like, yeah, there's on the, I mean, he doesn't know port or anything. He's like in the front left part of the ship. They keep their powder and their weapons, small arms. But I mean, they don't really have a whole lot because they don't fire cannon.
That makes sense. That makes sense. We looking to smuggle someone in the cart?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's your stat? I mean, like just between, I don't know. I guess Cricket's gonna hear this. Like,
yeah. He's like, you guys want to do the smuggle in the cart thing? That's a good one. sometimes that almost works.
What's Clave's stature like, right? Like how big a guy? Charming, I've always imagined is a rather strapping individual. I don't think
the physical descriptor with him is huge.
Yeah, huge, well manicured, right?
I've got lanky, hungry, so I think he might be average to tall,
Okay.
but he's not overly large. Lanky.
All right. Then I think Maud says,
Have fun, Maud.
Yeah. And says, I'm sure it puts you in a predicament knowing your own ass is on the line, but we do take care of our own. And we're gonna break out of this. I know everyone says that. And like Maud sort of looks to Clave. It's like, is it okay to like, is Cricket someone we can trust, right? Like she looks to Clave like, should we let him in on this? Is Clave good people, or is he gonna go like
How much do I know about Cricket?
You know, he does whatever he has to survive. That he's a survivor. That if he really thinks you guys are going to get out, but
right.
does he think that?
Right.
He's okay. It depends on, you know.
That's so we can hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
right. Is he good people?
Okay.
He's okay people.
He's okay. He knows how to survive, and all that means. He's okay.
Well, Cricket, you got to know that at some point they're going to run out of people to have you push food to, and then you're going to be the next chum.
Cool. Make a roll.
Cool.
See if you convince them.
I'm trying to think what action that is. I'm not sure if it's command or sway. Sway is like, hey, hook us up. Command is like, this is going to be your death anyway.
I feel like it's more sway. I mean, I feel like you're.
Yeah. All right. I would like to suggest a devil's bargain.
Sure.
Which is that Cricket is weak-willed and will eventually just tell our captors about this whole thing anyway. Even if he agrees to it now, that he just isn't the type of person to be able to hold on to this kind of thing.
Awesome. So I'm going to set up a clock. It's a 4-part clock, and it's Cricket breaks.
Yeah. And I think, I think Maud is keenly aware that Cricket is loyal. Cricket's loyalty to us is unknown, right? Like,
right.
That by revealing this to him, we're exposing ourselves by telling him, even part of the plan. So I'm taking this over against Sean, but Maud is also, and by saying to him like, if you want a taste of freedom, we're the ones you should side with. Awesome. Yay, Devil's Bargains. Hey, Clave, would you be inclined to help me since he is your companion?
Absolutely.
He's your friend.
Yes.
If you spend a point of stress,
Yep.
I can have a helping die in this.
Done.
Because you guys are friends and all that jazz. What's the positioning? I'm going for sway.
Yeah.
Suggested.
I think you make a lot of sense. I think it's.
I mean, the fact that he's eventually going to be in our shoes is inevitable.
Right. I think it's controlled great. Like, I think it's
cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
Let's see. Taking 2 bonus dice, 1 for Devil's Bargain, 1 for help. Puts me at a 3 dice. Oh, and yet.
Okay.
But controlled are okay. Controlled are not terrible to fail at. If you fail at controlled, it's usually you have the opportunity to try another attempt or press on at risky. Forget.
No, I'm gonna say he says yeah. The problem is that his clock is getting 3 ticks.
All right.
So he just says, you know what? You're absolutely right. I've got to get out of here. Get in the cart. I'm going to help you guys do what you need to do.
Wait. How did it know when it's time to open the door?
They've got a camera. They're watching.
Where? Don't point.
Wasn't going to point. I'm not fucking stupid.
Good.
It's right next to the speaker.
And now, what?
Right.
So you guys are gonna want to like. He like basically starts arranging people, but it doesn't look like he's arranging people. It looks like he's gathering cups.
When I asked him the question, can I make a survey roll to see if he looks anywhere other than the speaker box? Like, where's the camera? I just want to make sure he's not bullshitting me.
No, he's not bullshitting you. He's not bullshitting you. And actually, he when he's gathering up the tin cups to go back out of there, he arranges people so that if you want to put someone under the tray, you can.
Before this gets going, I'm going to grab Maud and just pull her to the side and whisper in her ear, the longer we wait here, I want to be I want people to be able to hear what I'm saying, but I'm going to whisper in her ear and say, the longer we wait here, the longer we wait here, the worse it's going to get for us. You're going to know to check the cart when you leave, so as soon as you're gone, we're going to make a break for it. I don't think waiting around is going to do us any good. I think it's going to give you an opportunity to see what's what while we kill who we need to kill and make our exit. Good?
All right. Yeah. Maud doesn't have, I don't think Maud has the ability to circumvent any kind of mechanical security systems. So it's not like she could get on the other side and like open a hatch or something like that. So that makes sense. I mean, it means giving it away, but that's okay. So yeah.
Well, if they're coming after us because they know that we've broken out, they're not going to be checking the cart.
All right. Watch out. These folks are they don't need us still alive when they put us on the altar. I'm fairly certain.
Are they a demon? No, right? So I'm not going to die here, am I?
There's demons aplenty on this boat.
But not that one. Right?
Not that one.
You keep thinking you're invincible, Jarman. Someday.
Well, someday, but not this day.
And so I totally will use the cover of all the people. And I'm trying to like make sure that our people don't lose their cool either. So I'm like, don't worry, we're getting you out here. And yeah, when everyone's made a wall around it. And I imagine like camera in Dust Falling and things like optics where they have like a lens and light refracting and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Right. So so I will hop on underneath inside the cart.
Cool.
When the door closes, I'm just going to whisper over to the wrench and say, "Is there a way to get that door open?"
Oh yeah, I'm on it.
All right.
Yeah. What kind of door is it? Like, give us a sense of like, is it like a round door, like submarine style, or is it like a regular? Like, what's the what kind of hatch?
It is. It's a repurposed, naval ship, with the round lock on it, and it's kind of small and a little bit off of the ground, but it's not like submarine round. It's rectangular, but it's like a special repurposed naval hatch.
Cool. And they have it like rigged up to be able to like kind of control it through the ship. So when Maud gets taken out, it's not like I could go in and just like manually release it from the other side, right? There's not. Okay.
Right.
If there's a trivial way that I can make it easier for them to get out, I absolutely will. But if it's like,
they're doing something with current,
right,
to make it to make it lock and unlock.
Cool. That might also
something with current and magnets.
Cool. I don't think Maud has the technical savviness to know a lot about that, but I bet Clave would have some inkling just hearing it, even the mechanisms as well.
Yeah. I think when Cricket pushes the cart up onto the little ramp and goes over, there's like a chunk, and he opens it and then he closes it behind him and chunk, and he goes down a dank hallway and touches a speaker and says, "Doctor, it's all set. They're watered and they're fed." Thank you, Cricket. On a scale of 1 to 7, how would you rate their sense of despair? I'd say they're like a 2. They're not. I mean, they're just happy to be at the Deathland, sir. Any ideas on what we could do to ratchet that up, Cricket? I mean, no, sir. I'm not. I mean, if you let them sit for a while, that always helps. Yeah, I don't have that kind of time, Cricket. This just might be a bust. We might have to just flood the compartment. Sir, I mean, that might not be necessary.
Is there like, is the distance like sufficient that like that Maud can like whisper something to Cricket without it being picked up on the speaker?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And you can so I sort of like whisper to Cricket. I say everyone's afraid of the demons on the voids, the Leviathans on the void sea. I'm sure if they operated some of the machinery, made some horrible clanks and groans of the ship in action, everyone would think it was beset by some awful horror of the night. Because I mean, it's still like a functioning Leviathan hunter, right?
Right.
the idea of seeing a mammoth, like a creature a demon so big that you never even see the whole of it, you just see appendages coming out of the water, I think is like a legit terror for most people, even if especially if they're not hardened like hunters.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sir, what if we played up the Leviathan angle? Yeah, that might work. That might work, Cricket. Thank you, Cricket.
We're never going to see the end of Cricket now unless he dies right now. He's going to be the rest of the game.
Right, yeah. Right. I give him like the good job. Thanks for not flooding everybody immediately.
Nice.
And I think I'm going to stay in the cart until he, gets to some place that doesn't look like it's completely locked down, right?
Yeah.
Until he gets to a place where it looks like there's some degree of freedom. But
Yep.
But I'm happy to be pushed off into the darkness, and we go back to Clave and everybody inside.
Cool. Well. Yeah, he pushes towards his room, which is going to be the saddest room in the history of rooms. And and then we get back to Clave looking at this door.
Yes. Yeah, I'm thinking I can pop this door.
Hell yeah. What are you going to do?
There's a speaker in here also, right? In the room we're in? Awesome. So my thought is, if it's magnet and electricity, there's probably some current running to the speaker.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of trying to create some feedback, some overload, some short somewhere. Maybe that'll get the door to pop if it's on current. Maybe I can disrupt it.
Cool.
Yeah, I like the idea that Duskwall electroplasm and electricity is all like, it's sophisticated in what it can do, but it's really primitive in its like big hunking wires and like huge breakers and right. I mean, maybe this isn't that, but like that's how I envision
totally. Oh, totally.
So I was thinking tinker.
Cool.
And I have tinkering tools if they're useful.
Yep. They are totally useful.
Awesome.
And it's risky standard.
All right. And apparently I don't know how to roll my tinker skill.
Oh, you click on tinker. You click on the word tinker.
There it is. Okay.
Blue. I want to suggest a devil's bargain, which it seems pretty obvious. Seems clear to me is that because you're doing this quickly, because you're doing this with sort of unknown technology, that it's easier to do it if you don't give any shits about whether or not the feedback is detectable and that it would be noticed immediately or noticed soon. If you do it, if you do it hastily. I don't know if you think that's already going to happen, Judd, but
that's fine. I dig that.
It's kind of Charming's plan anyway, because he wants to make sure that no one's checking the cart. If they think we're escaping, they're not going to think we're there.
Right. Yeah. It means you get attention maybe sooner than Clave would have wanted, but
no,
it also means if you fail, you're screwed. But it's an extra die right now.
Yes, it's an extra die. All right, so I've got 2 in tinker.
Yeah.
1 for the devil's bargain.
Yeah. Can I ask you some questions? What does it look like? Are you like ripping wires out of the door and like shoving into the door jamb? Like what does it, or is it more subtle than that?
Yeah, I think it's more subtle than that. I think in my tinkering tools, I think I actually have some magnets in there.
Cool.
And I think I'm doing most of, maybe they're tweezers and things like, so I'm making small cuts.
Yeah.
But I'm mostly doing the work with the magnets, that speaker, and the current.
Cool.
Right. And I'm not physically present to do much, but just sort of as like a reminder of system stuff. You can't get an extra die from pushing because you're already taking devil's bargain.
Right.
But Jay, if you wanted Charming to help, you can spend a stress to give him a helping die. I'm not sure how he would help in this case, but that's
really Charming is not really paying attention to what he's doing right now because he's already convinced that if he can't get the door open his way, Charming's going to get the door open his own way. If you look at Charming, you notice he's looking around at the Leviathan blood that's left over, and
Right.
he's got a piece of cloth, and he seems to be writing something with the Leviathan blood on the piece of cloth.
Nice. Will I get an extra die for the tinkering tools, or does that change
Nope.
it?
I think that's just about effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
tools change your effect, right?
All right.
Right. So I think we're at risky great.
All right. 3 dice. Here he goes.
They should do as well. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, there they go. Wow, they appeared very slowly on my side. Like I just had comma.
Nice.
Comma. Okay, sorry.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed, but I was. Yeah. Boom. I think there's like an audible clunk in the wall.
Right.
And the
What's
door
the crack?
opens.
Does he now understand how to open the other doors?
Yep.
Once I hear the clunk, I'm picking up the piece of cloth that I've been writing on and walking over to the camera and holding it up to the camera. And it says on the cloth, "You didn't quite catch me. I caught you. I'll see you soon."
Nice.
Should we take our second break on that? On that
Yes.
lovely note. Awesome.
Yes.
All right. All. Let's see how this goes down when Charming gets his hands on these guys. We'll see y'all soon.